Hey, good morning. Welcome back to another beautiful day in Cape Town. Now, behind me you won't really see the sunshine, but I promise you it is shining. The problem is we're having massive fires about 50 k's into the mountains from us, and for the last 3 days it's been blown over. I don't know if you'll see it, but on top of the Zook there's ash and things everywhere. The house is covered. But you may be asking, Richard, what are you doing here in the park? Well, next weekend is 4x4 and I'm looking so forward to that. It's the first 4x4 competition of 21. We have not been able to do it because of COVID. Last year the whole competition was cancelled for the year, so this year we are going to see how much we can do. Just depends on how the pandemic goes. So I'm up here flexing out a little bit. It's not much, but it's the closest I've got to home, so I can just check all the suspension. Got a whole long list of things to do on the Jimny today, so stick around. So there's a couple of things that we need to take care of on the Jimny before the 4x4 competition next week. We haven't done 4x4 in a really long time because of lockdown, and I just want to go over everything and just double check and make sure that everything is okay. So I've made a list here. All the normals, checking of the oils, the water balances. I do want to go over the whole suspension just to double check all the nuts and bolts and everything like that. If you watch the previous vlog that I did on the Jimny, and I'll link it up above here, I did manage to strip one of the bolts on the radial arm, one of the rear radial arms. It happens, 4x4 in rust, it happens. So I managed to get a new one of those today. Otherwise we have to try, let's get some light going here, we have to try and modify, if there's time, the rock sliders, so that the rock sliders fit with these radial cup protectors. Got to check all my recovery gear. That hasn't been used in a long time, so who knows how dirty or clean or whatever that is, so we'll have to check that out. Want to bleed the brakes. I've got upgraded brakes on the front and the rear. On the rear I've done a rear disc conversion. Makes a massive difference, and on the front I'm actually running the Vitara 322mm brakes, if I remember correctly. Also massive, but I can feel that there's a little bit of play in the pedals, so just need to check that out. Air filter, again, just clean up, not doing a full service. It had an oil change about 3,000 k's ago, so I'm pretty confident that that is all good. And last but not least, I've also, as everything on a modified 4x4, nothing OEM fits back the way that it's supposed to. So after putting these fenders on quite a while ago, in the front there are no mud guards, so it's not a massive problem, but what it does do is it just, all the mud gets up in the door. I don't know how bad the 4x4 is going to be next weekend, but I'd rather just take precaution, just make sure everything is there. So first up on the list for now is the radial cup protectors. I went and flexed up in the park a little bit earlier. The front ones are definitely catching. I do have aftermarket radial arms in here as well. They're catching. Just got to shave a little bit off on that, put them back again, and then we should be good to go. So, because the radial arm was a bit thicker on the joint, just because I've got the aftermarket radial arms, it was catching a little bit here, so I just smoothed it off a bit. We'll fit it up now, see if it fits. If not, take it off, repeat process till it's done. Now my advice is never to take both radial arm bolts out at the same time, but I've taken them out here, you can see it's just, let's get some focus, it's just a hair that was catching. So this is the driver's side one. I'm going to clean that up a little bit, put them back in, and then we'll shoot up to the park a little bit later on, see if it works. Next up on the list is the rock sliders. Now let me show you what I'm struggling with. So this rock slider here is, we get it, there is beautiful Desol rock slider that actually was their prototype that I managed to pick up from them, just because my Jimny is modified and I've got to modify the rock sliders anyway to fit. So what's supposed to happen is that this bracket at the end slides onto this chassis mount over here, and then everything bolts up with the front bracket and the back bracket. The problem that I have here is that these radial cup protectors are a different brand from Zombie. Brilliant, I've had them on here for years. The challenge is that where this bracket here needs to sit for the rock slider, it's sitting up against the radial cup here. So my thinking is, take this bracket off, radial cup protector, modify this little tab. That tab is there to prevent it from swinging out, but I think once I put the bracket on here for the rock sliders, it should hold it in place. If not, I will, once I mount this bracket onto the chassis, all that I'll do is weld a little tab on here that once the radial cup protector is on, this then bolts on. You've got a little tab that comes up over here that keeps it from sliding back. So that's the plan. Let's see if I can make it work. Almost made a rookie mistake. Chock your wheels before you remove the radial arm bolt. Tab cut off, let's see. Maybe this will work. Fitted the rock slider, but one word of advice: if you're going to fit rock sliders, you're going to fit transfer case protectors, you're going to fit radial cup protectors, if they all integrate into the same place and start bolting up in the same areas, always go with the same supplier. You wouldn't have half the problems that I'm having right now. Let me show you. Over here I've cut the radial arm protector smaller, but because of the way it's been bent, it's got a buckle over here, so these don't match up. So I'm going to have to weld a plate on here that will catch on here to prevent this from flipping forward when you're going off-road. So for now, I've bolted this up. I'm not going to worry about this too much. The 4x4 trail that we're doing is a lot of sand and dirt, so I'm not too concerned about this catching on a rock or anything and flipping down. Bolted it up this side as well. Another problem I'm going to have is when I go to fit my transfer case protector, and you can see that when I took it off to fit the rock sliders, I had a problem with these nuts, as well as these little nut certs inside here. They started rotating, and I ended up having to cut the bolt out. But when I put that transfer case protector on, this side is going to fit fine. But on the far side over there, you see you've got a mount over there and a mount over there. Transfer case is not going to fit up because of where the brackets are. So not so much the front one, because I've still got the bracket there and that's where the transfer case protector bolts up. But at the back now I've got radial arm, and I'm going to have the bracket here for the rock slider, and then next to it is going to be the transfer case protector. So again, word of advice: buy from the same person. It's all designed to work together, and you don't have to sit with the troubles that I'm sitting with. Before I forget, I've given these guys a nice coat of paint, busy drying out in the sun. As soon as it's dry, we'll whip them back on. So, all cut up. This was also the side that we broke the bolt on, stripped the bolt, so new bolt time as well. Alright, so that wraps up the rock slider install and the radial cup protectors. So there we've got them fitted. There we've got them front, back. Nice thing about these rock sliders is that they are adjustable, so if you have a look on the mechanism inside here, you can actually slide them backwards and forwards. So not 100% happy with the fitment for now. That side looks okay. Move across to that side, you can see this one's sticking a little bit like that, but for now that'll do. Running a little bit out of time today, so I'm going to jump onto the brakes, get the brakes bled, and then we'll check the fluids. So as I mentioned earlier, I did a rear disc conversion, a DIY fit on the Jimny. The Jimny comes standard with drum brakes in the back. I used a Reynolds McGann caliper on this side and a Reynolds Scenic on the other side. The problem I have, and I'll show you when we get to the other side, is that at least on this caliper the bleed nipple's at the top. With the Scenic calipers, the nipple is on the side, so you have to lift it up, put a clamp onto the caliper so that you prevent the piston from pushing up and somebody pumps on the brakes for you, and then you fit it back. It has given me no issues in the 2 years that it's been running like this, but just to give you an idea of the bracket, so it was a simple, I've got a plate at the back here which is actually from the old SJs with longer studs that I put in. I made these plates, we used a little bit of CAD design, cardboard aided design, built these, got some other brake lines. I still need to make a plan with the handbrake. So currently the handbrake works. You can see that the cable goes up through here, and as it pulls in, it pulls this and it binds, which is perfect. But you can see here that I've had to put some spacers. Doesn't look great. I just haven't had the time to get it done, but that is on the to-do list, not necessarily for today. First up, let's bleed. So you'll see here, this is the problem I was talking about. You've got your bleed nipple down here, and to be able to bleed your brakes properly, you've got to be able to get the nipple at the top so all the air can come out. It doesn't matter what anybody says, the nipple needs to be at the top, unless you're using a vacuum or pressure system. That may be a little bit different, but I'm going to unbolt this caliper, stick it upright like that, put a clamp onto the piston, and then bleed it. That's fine, you can let go. Okay, so as a little temporary solution, I got a piece of copper pipe that was the perfect thickness to slip over the handbrake adjuster, handbrake cable that goes into the rear drum on the OEM setup. So I put that in here, pulled the cable through, stuck it onto the caliper. Is this perfect? No, I'm sure it's not. I don't think this copper is going to last very long. It's not very strong, but for now it'll do. As soon as I can get some other gauge, mild steel pipe or something like that, I'll fix that up. But for now, a little bit of gunk that came out of the brakes, but so far so good. So off camera we managed to sort out the brakes. I've checked the fluids, everything is good to go. Handbrake is working sweet now with that little piece of copper in there just to take a bit of the slack up. The brakes all round are working perfect. Took it for a test drive, had a little bit of a wobble, the normal Jimny wobble between 60 and 80. Swapped the front to the rear, the wheels from the front to the rear, swapped those around so the better quality tires or better wearing tires are in the front now, and it's game changer. Smooth. I'm really happy. But I'm going to call it here for tonight. We are going to throw a bit of a steak on the braai, have a bit of a chill, and we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Hey guys, so it's actually race day today. The week ran away from me completely and I wasn't able to get to filming what I needed to with the Jimny in terms of preparation. But anyway, we are here today. We are ready to rock and roll. I'm going to end off this vlog here and join us for the next one, where we're going to show you a little bit of the day with the 4x4 in. Hey Wifey. So hope to see you guys in the next video. And just make sure that if you want to stick around to see the other video, subscribe in the little red block down below, click on that notification bell and you'll get notified when we upload the next video.